All right, let me start the VOD here. So we're looking at Isurus Esports, Slayers Gaming, Round of 8, Netolic Weekly, Raidcall, America's Cup. God damn it. I'm Vikrant. El Presidente, why don't you introduce yourself again?
Hello, I'm El Presidente, and I wish I was more interesting.
I think you're plenty interesting. All right, so yeah, as we just mentioned, Isurus defending 2 times. They won week 4 against Ice Gaming. They won week 5 against Ice Gaming. Now we have at least one member of Ice Gaming on Slayers looking to have sort of a partial revenge / dethrone the 2-time champions at this point.
Absolutely. We've gotten to the point where we got the best teams playing in this tournament. We got Isurus. I'm pretty sure Netolic SA won their set, so they're looking to move on to this quarterfinals. And no, they lost. I think they lost.
Who'd they lose to?
I don't know. Let me check the bracket.
Interesting. Because they're definitely common contenders as well. I think the last week or two they were only taken out by either Ice or Isurus.
No. I think they won. It's hard to say because there are like 18 teams still in the game, and I'm still trying to figure out because the brackets never get updated quickly.
Ooh.
But
burn on somebody, but I don't know who.
you know what? I need to get like bracket right so I can start updating that. But anyways, every single band here is so hilariously stock. Yeah. It's kind of sad. I was hoping for something fun. Maybe in the picks.
Yeah, it's the 2-ban metagame, right? Like I don't know that you can just afford to ban stuff that like weird bans because you leave so much up and you leave so much going into the pick phase that you can. I feel like you kind of can do it if you have second pick, just because you can pick up 2 OP heroes in response to their 1 OP hero. But even then, there's so many really good heroes. Like there's at least 8 and maybe 10 that are just completely tier 0.1.
I don't know. Team Liquid seems to have some fun first banning Brewmaster sometimes, but
right.
That's just probably some absurd confidence.
I saw Empire vs Dignitas today. I don't know if you were watching it, but the very first game, Empire bans Visage first. I just laughed because it was like, we know what you're up to. We know you've been obsessed with Visage for the last couple of weeks.
That and maybe that's like a smart ban against like Fluff, who runs that hero all the time.
Right, but it wasn't even against him.
Yeah, Dignitas doesn't run the Visage.
Well, they've been running it a lot lately because there was that really weird series of like Defense Winners Bracket Finals against Virtus Pro, where they ran the exact same lineup for 3 straight games. It was it was really baroque. Like it was really weird. It was Visage, Clockwork, and I don't even remember what the third one was, but it was the same 3 heroes. All 3 games, and then 2 of the same heroes, like in both 2 games each. It was weird, man. It was weird.
So it looks like the Slider decided to pick up Z-Tox Queen of Pain again, which is interesting that they chose to
locked it up with the first pick. Yeah.
Interesting that they first picked it, just because it's not usually a hero that gets first picked, and that means they're passing up like the Magnus and a bunch of other really good heroes.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely dump a lot to actually pick that up. It's an interesting choice.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, Isurus has a lot of options to respond. Puck is what I was about to say, but they beat me to it. And taking the Rubik, pretty strong as well. He can steal a lot of Queen of Pain spells. It makes the forthcoming likely Magnus pick less likely, certainly. And Isurus actually still has room to take the Magnus as well if they desire.
Absolutely. This combo is very nasty for Magnus just because Dream Coil, very good against Magnus. AoE Silence, very good against Magnus. Spell Steal, very good against Magnus's
fantastic against Magnus.
10 seconds.
So it's like, this is just nasty. And even the damage that Magnus does gets reduced by the null field, so...
Right. It's also a good point. Magnus, despite, being...
also
really
reduces.
Brawler, is mostly magic damage unless he goes Dendi, Battle Fury build, and...
Also, Queen of Pain's damage gets pretty gimped by null field.
Absolutely. Null field definitely fantastic against Queen of Pain. That's a great point. I mean, Rubik has to get the levels, is the main thing.
Yeah,
it's generally difficult to justify taking a bunch of ranks of null field early, just because. I mean, this is it's a good problem to have on Rubik, where it's like, oh, all of my abilities are so good that I have to make choices.
Well, I think the problem is that Fade Bolt really isn't that good of a spell, but it's his only source of damage.
It's his only way to deal damage. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it is a pretty good spell. I mean, it's a decent amount of damage reduction, especially early on, and it's good damage. It's good anti-push. I don't know. It's not bad.
Oh, I love this hero. I love Gyrocopter. Every game I see a Gyrocopter, it just makes me so happy.
You must love the current metagame.
Oh, absolutely. Like, there was this thing, right? Gyrocopter and Cull came out in different patches, Wisp as well, right?
Yeah.
These are all heroes I was looking forward to playing. Lycanthrope as well. I was calling it before it came out. This hero's going to be OP, and then he got nerfed into oblivion. But for Gyrocopter, I always played him in the solo mid position. My first game with Gyrocopter, I ended like 13-1 and 6.
He is pretty
Right, so
strong.
that was fun.
I actually think
5
Lycan's in a pretty good
seconds
place right now. I don't think he's that bad.
Uh,
He's a good pocket pick. Like, you could pick him 5th or something.
He's a fantastic pocket pick. The problem is that they killed his jungling with the nerf to the
Well,
Wolves
when
H.
pro teams run him, they still jungle with him. I mean, honestly, like, you can't... The problem with his laning is he's also an atrocious laner. He's like Spectre levels of early weakness.
Yeah, the problem is then you're looking at your supports passing off some extra regen to
Yeah.
the Lycan so you can tank.
Right.
Beastmaster is also a fantastic pick coming out of this year. It's going to be able to knock down the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, I mean, Beastmaster definitely great. Gyrocopter's rush or at least early get BKB, and so the Beastmaster a great response to anybody that's sort of getting that up early. What it looks like to me is most likely, since they're Dire side, this will be the Ancient stacking offlane Beastmaster and then a Puck mid. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's probably going to be their best bet. I'm not sure why you'd put Puck in the offlane anymore because he's so impossible. It is so impossibly difficult to kill.
Right. Some people do like solo safe Puck as well. It's happened, or if you know the other team's gonna run a solo safe, you run that 1v1. Same sort of way that you can fake people out with a Queen of Pain and end up going with like a solo safe Quap too.
Yeah, but Puck is just absolutely atrocious in 1v2 engagements.
Oh, yeah.
He's impossible to kill. You know what? I'm just gonna say he because I'm gonna invariably keep doing it, or it. I'm gonna try to do it, but it's gonna keep coming out.
I won't hold it against you.
It's impossibly difficult to kill just because the phase shift and the illusionary orb, and then you jaunt. I still think that's my favorite term, the ethereal jaunt. It's like dancing. But looking at Slayer's bans, they're targeting those bans very well. Isurus is missing their one-roll carry.
Yep.
So they're banning out the good carries. Phantom Lancer, again, no, I'm not sure they really needed to. They have Gyrocopter and Shadow Demon.
Definitely heroes that are extremely equipped, if anybody, to deal with.
They have the answers to the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
Luna makes sense because she puts out ridiculous right-click damage,
Absolutely.
as well as Eclipse is completely incredible in 1v1 engagements. The last carry, Faceless Void. Again, not too surprised. Faceless Void, fantastic against Gyrocopter because you can't do anything when you're Chronosphered.
Right. I mean, Gyro won't be able to use any of his abilities, what have you. Now, Void, a hero that's not that popular lately just because he does get so big so late, but and they actually pick up the anti-mage as well, so it's going to be the either something like a support Gyro, most likely. No Tidehunter style Gyro.
No, I think when they saw the Beastmaster pickup, they're going to be running the Gyrocopter against the Beastmaster with the anti-mage with the Shadow Demon. They're going to be looking at picking up another support hero, and it's probably, I don't know.
But AM, Shadow Demon, who would actually make... So that's going to be an aggressive Trilon. The problem will be ensuring that the anti-mage gets his farm, right?
That's going to be a defensive Trilon, period. With anti-mage, you're not going to run an offensive Trilon.
I agree, but then the Gyro isn't going to be likely to be going up against the Beastmaster, then.
No, well... I don't know, because Beastmaster doesn't work well in 1v3s either.
That's true. I mean, I feel like he might just sit back and stack Ancients and only pop his head in to get a little bit of XP. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this is going to be interesting. And they do pick up a little Shrek to fill out whatever the trial lane they're going to have. So I was still looking for Isurus as number 1.
Remaining.
Looking at that, though, they probably should have picked up Lifestealer instead. Because he's still in the pool.
They do have the option, and I don't know that Sven actually coming
What's
out.
that?
Dire team pick.
Oh, that's fun. You know, it's so Sven has an interesting history in Dota. Not that I followed Dota 1, but I know way back when the Chinese would run Sven exclusively as a support hero.
Yes, right.
Because Stormbolt AoE and Warcry.
Right.
And then a couple months ago, a couple of buffs, Sven running only as a hard carry.
10 seconds
And now he's kind of back in the pro scene as the support hero.
He's definitely a
5
support, and that's how they're going to
remaining.
run him. It'll be Shadow Demon and Sven supporting Anti-Mage, and then with the Queen of Pain in the middle and Gyrocopter as the number 3. I'm still interested to see how Isurus actually choose to lane and what they pick up as their number 1. That really intrigues me. They do have the option of the Lifestealer still, but...
Lifesteal will work phenomenally, actually, with Isurus' lineup as well. This is really weird, because both sides really should have picked up the Lifestealer as their carry. And Isurus still has that option. The fact is, that's going to be nasty. You're going to see a telekinesis into a split earth, into an open wound, and that's a kill.
Right.
Unless it's anti-mage.
Right.
Then it's a blink.
Right.
But the problem...
they do end up going with Lifestealer, so I think they stared into the abyss and blinked. I mean, it's the most sensible option. He is one of the highest power carries available. I think they were reticent to do it initially because they would be picking into a Shadow Demon, but honestly, you can still pick Lifestealer into Shadow Demon and it's fine. That's the nice thing about Lifestealer. Even his hard counters don't counter him that hard.
Yeah, they're really the only real hard counters to Lifestealer, like Vengeful Spirit, who can just move him completely out of position, Beastmaster, and Shadow Demon.
Is definitely Beastmaster and Shadow Demon are definitely two of the strongest options. We have started seeing some experiments as well with things like Razor recently, but
yeah, that's an interesting choice for Lifestealer, just because then it turns Lifestealer's damage to almost nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you can't avoid the static link by infesting something.
And I mean, it also, if
10
he's not
seconds
raged when he
remaining.
open wounds, if he tries to open wounds the Razor, it procs the... you lose a substantial portion of the open wounds just because you are slow due to the unstable current.
There was actually a really funny swap between Fallen and Ifrit. They made a little bit of misclicks there. But you can introduce the Radiant, I guess.
Alright, so Slayers, we just saw them absolutely dominate TDK. They are likely to go against stiffer opposition in this game, but let's take a look at the players and their heroes. So we've got Zitok reprising his role as the solo mid Queen of Pain. He went 12-1 last game. We'll see how he does this time. Then we've got Haley on the Gyrocopter, Vulgarcito XXX.
That's Kushi.
Kushi on the Sven, and Pelon on the Shadow Demon. And it does look like it's going to be an aggressive trial with these three heroes, which I like because Sven Gyro is a good combo. And then a solo safe anti-mage with Professional Feeder playing up that here.
Oh, they're going to be very upset. For a series, we've got Goody on the Rubik, Ifrit taking the Lifestealer, Prodigious on the Lifestealer, the Leshrac, too many L's.
Tormented Soul.
Shoko on Puck, and Fallen will be taking the Beastmaster, and Anti-Mage is going to be a very, very sad, angry man once they realize.
It looks like Puck is going to find itself up against a Trilon in the top with Beastmaster mid. I think both teams didn't really have I mean, there were so many different possible laning configurations. I think both teams misguessed each other's lanes in some respect.
Absolutely. The problem was both sides, so flexible with their laning.
I mean, great drafting, because if you can draft in such a way that the other team can't guess your lanes, that's fantastic. It's just funny that both teams drafted in a way that the other team couldn't guess their lanes.
Incidentally, they will spot Professional Feeder using this ward, but they're not going to know where the rest of the supports are, just because that's all the vision that they have.
Yep. And it looks like actually a rotation, so the Shadow Demon and Sven are going to fully rotate to the bottom to make this a try versus try, and they're just going to leave the Gyrocopter to face the Puck 1v1. What do you think about this choice by
it's not even a choice. They have to do this if they want to keep him up. For Professional Feeder, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Trying to 1v1, 1v3, but no, this is First Blood here.
Ooh, Shadow Demon in quite a bit of trouble. There's the lift. We'll have the little Shrek stun coming off of that, and enough damage, probably easily, to actually get this kill on Shadow Demon. And a First Blood for Isurus. Well played. They catch the Shadow Demon on his way to rotate over.
I think it was a little bit of a misplay. He probably could have just disrupted before the stun landed. There was probably enough of a delay. I could be wrong.
Before the Rubik stun landed?
No, before the Leshrac opened.
Oh, I'm not sure he could have done that. There's a cast time on that disruption that would fuck him up there, I think.
I don't know. It really depends on the timing, though.
Wow, Anti-Mage actually stuck in a corner there. I wonder if they didn't end up going for the stun. Probably smart.
They were going on Ifrit, but Ifrit managed to get the open wounds off before, so he didn't lose as much health as he could have, just because Mana Break doesn't do any damage when you're out of mana.
Yep. Funny how that works. And pretty good warding from Isurus, too, trying to lock down this tri-lane very effectively, blocking this creep camp for pulls, getting good vision, just getting ready for a try versus try battle, and I think they're fairly prepared for it.
Absolutely, we're seeing a go.
Disruption coming out, and they might chain up. Wow, what a good defensive splitter at the track there, but he's in a ton of trouble. AM hitting him down, but a great lift from Rubik, and that might be the end of the anti-mage. It is. So they may get Leshrac, but they paid dearly for it with the loss of the anti-mage. And will this Shadow Demon go down as well? They don't have the mana to actually get that open wounds up, but they're just going to keep whacking away at him constantly. Does Sven have mana for Stormhammer? He doesn't. Shadow Demon walks away, but 2-1 for Isurus.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be trading Anti-Mage ever.
No.
The problem with Anti-Mage as a hero is that he contributes almost nothing to a lane, and if he doesn't have a good start, he's going to have a bad mid-game, and that's where Anti-Mage is the strongest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
I mean,
he
like
actually
mid
hits hard.
to mid late. They do throughout the disruption. Their Soulcatcher does miss the Rubik, unfortunately. Ifrit forced to back away a little bit because he doesn't even have enough mana for Rage at this point. But it's under their tower, so they do have pretty decent lane control in exchange for this.
And Kushi calls for a pause. He's all out of mana, so that's a big problem. They're not going to be able to land another stun.
They don't even have the Clarity is back at base for the Shadow Demon, so they do have enough for another Shadow Demon combo, but not nearly enough for Sven to do anything. And did Sven take stats?
Yeah, that's actually really standard for Sven's.
These days I feel like the support Sven, the Warcry level 2 is actually fairly common, just because, I mean, it's so good. It's such a good spell.
Yeah, Warcry is fantastic, but the reason why we see level 2 stats is also he has a larger mana pool.
Sure.
To cast Stormhammer. Even with level 2 stats, he doesn't even have enough mana from max mana to cast 2 Stormbolts.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. I definitely think there was a while where their build with Sven was like just QU, QU, QR, and that was just like a lock. And sometimes he wouldn't even take the R. But I feel like these days, I don't know, Warcry got buffed so hard, and it'll be really good. It's great against a Lifestealer lane, because like even if your hero's in trouble, giving them that extra boost of armor and movement speed to get away from the Lifestealer might be critical.
Absolutely, it's probably one of his strongest abilities. Armor just makes Lifestealer want to shoot himself, because not only is his base damage reduced, but the feast damage is reduced, and that means the lifesteal is reduced, and he is just in a bad situation because of it.
Exactly. Well, let's look up in the middle. We do have Beastmaster getting a little bit of an early advantage, but I think it's going to turn around eventually. He doesn't have his bottle yet. Is he actually
he has his
crowing?
bottle.
He does have it. He's crowing. Okay. But Creedipane is holding haste, so he's got to be somewhat careful about it. And up in the top, Shoko. Looks like Shoko and actually Gyro, Haley with a little bit of an advantage here. He does have 5 extra last hits. But I don't think he really is likely to kill this puck. I mean, Phase Shift is so trivially easy to counter a homing missile. He hasn't even bothered level homing missile, and I agree with it, honestly.
Yeah, there's no reason to grab homing missile against a puck, because it's never going to land.
Nope. It really
ever.
won't. It could...
It has the odds of landing, like an Invoker landing a Sunstrike on a puck, actually.
Speaking of puck. Yeah, I mean, later on in the game, when puck has to face shift out of others, and Anti-Mage actually caught way out of position again. Good blink. He does manage to get away. They don't chain up the stun. They didn't actually even go for the stun, so... Smart conservation of mana from Lishrak, honestly.
Yeah, it's really hard to push into this group just because they do have so much stun.
And haste coming out from Quap. Does he talk might? No, he chooses not to dive, and that's wise, frankly. I don't think that.
Yeah, I think Shadow Strike is really underestimated for its damage. At level 1, it's a 200 damage ability.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Damage over time abilities in general in this game just do a ton. I mean, they really do a lot of work, and Shadow Strike no exception.
Yeah, especially Venomancer, just because everything.
Yep. Just because.
Everything about Venomancer. It's not even a joke. Just everything about Venomancer is dots, except for his Plague Wards, and that's arguably his worst ability now.
Yeah, I guess so. In a meta that emphasizes pushing way less and anti-pushing way less.
The problem was even the wards for pushing weren't very good.
Sure, they were more of like an anti-push, like turtling tool.
Yeah, because they were absolutely fantastic at killing creeps.
Actually,
because they
rotation up to try to kill Haley, but he's throwing out a ton of damage off the Shoko. That Rubik stun was critical to actually stop that. They might turn this around with the Waning Rift and the critical damage from Rubik. They do manage to pick up the kill, but Quap is invisible and is looking to mop this up. And this is a low puck and a low Rubik. The perfect blink could actually get some massive dividends here. Will she go for it is the question. I think yes.
No, she should definitely go. Shoko is actually in one-shot range right now.
Rubik, very smart. Oh, there goes Shoko. So the kill on puck. No kill on Rubik because he did manage to healing salve in time, but unfortunately they do lose the puck. So 1-for-1 trade in the top in the end. They rotate a mid, they rotate a support. Gyrocopter and puck both die.
A little bit of a misplay actually from Haley though. He had a little bit of time where he could have popped the rocket barrage, but didn't.
Yeah, and as a result, when he got TK'd, I mean TK won't stop rocket barrage if you already have it going.
Yeah, so it's really well. He popped it once, but he could have popped it a second time.
Yeah.
Right before the silence off of puck, and he actually probably would have been able to be fine in that situation. He probably would have gotten both kills with that.
Ooh, no, I don't think so. Probably not. I mean, the
Rocket
silence
Rush?
brought him to like no health, basically.
The problem was, by the time the silence went off, if he timed it as he landed, the silence didn't go off for another 1.5
That's
seconds.
true. That's
By
true.
that time, Rocket Barrage would have already hit 15 times.
Maybe. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's tough to say. It's kind of counterfactual, but
Yeah, the other problem would be, I don't know if it was close enough for Rocket Barrage to do any damage.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But it's tough to say. Beastmaster, for what it's worth, leveling very, very well. He does have his Primal Roar already. We give a rotation from Leshrac, but he's in quite a bit of trouble. If this Sven Stun comes off correctly, good movement from Beastmaster, but the Queen of Pain is going to do massive mop-up work. 1 kill, possibly 2, depending on how she decides to chase. Definitely 2. Prodigious 13 will go down. And that's a 3 kill streak for this Queen of Pain. And he's going to celebrate by pausing.
Oh, man. That was actually like one of the best rotations I've seen out of Z-Talk so far. That was a fantastic TP, and all of that. That was a fantastic series of stuns onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster didn't get a single ability off. Not only that, when he was soul captured, he got hit by the Sonic Wave and he was gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Soul Catcher Sonic Wave, especially early, it's
I don't even. How many points does he have in the Soul Catcher? He has 2 points in Soul
But
Catcher.
it's still 30% extra damage, yeah.
I absolutely adore this build for Shadow Demon. My favorite Shadow Demon build is the Soul Catcher build.
Yep, same.
When I first started playing Dota, and I've only been playing for about a year, I used to see Shadow Demon as a solo mid ganker hero, right?
Well, there was a time in which he was mostly a solo mid, yeah.
Exactly. But when we saw that, right, the general mantra was Soul Catcher is good, but you need something else to go with it because Shadow Demon was thought to be a ganker. Right? So he needed to be able to produce damage on his own.
Right.
You couldn't just amplify it, so you needed some base for it, right? So you either max Shadow Poison or Disruption first.
Sure.
How the times have changed.
Yeah. I mean, he's just not seen as that solo mid role anymore. Which honestly, I think the way he's played now is actually very, very smart. I mean, you rely upon other people to bring the damage, and you just bring the massive disabling and pressure.
Yeah, Shadow Demon is just too strong of a hero, especially against current meta heroes.
He's definitely really good, especially in the world where everybody's playing Lifestealer all the time, the world where everybody's playing Gyrocopter all the time. Shadow Demon is just fantastic, honestly.
Ifrit's going FNC.
What? Oh, yeah, he's going. Yeah, so he's picked up the phase. I like this, honestly. I'm fine with this build, the FNC build. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why FNC does it. It's not because it's awful. Lifestealer does have some pretty bad
Not
chasing.
quite enough coordination between the Rubik and the Beastmaster there. The Primal Roar actually comes off a little early, and so it, rather than getting the full length of the Telekinesis and the full length of the Primal Roar, they cut each other off, and they're not able to get the kill on Z-Talk. So he stays alive, keeps his 3-0 record afloat.
Yeah, it's really interesting coming out of this. Yeah, I like the FNC build out of Ifrit just because Lifestealer has really bad chasing even with the open wounds.
And even with the open wounds, and then it's compounded by the fact that he's going to be having Shadow Demon Disruption on him more often than not.
Absolutely. So this is probably the ideal build. The other one would have been Tranquils, to be honest, but it's Lifestealer. He doesn't really need Tranquils.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see Tranquils. I think Phase is the correct decision. The flip side is the fact that he has not gone Midas, and that if he does, it'll be quite late, means that they are going to try to close this out fairly early, because Anti-Mage will outfarm this Lifestealer extremely substantially as soon as he starts hitting his marks. For now, they're very even, so incredibly even farm, actually. Across the top end, oh, Anti-Mage in a lot of... But they missed the Leshrac. Good defensive disruption, and Anti-Mage will walk away. What a critical defensive disruption that is. And on the flip side, Lifestealer are actually now having to walk away. They can't decide who they want to Stormhammer. It's going to be Rubik. He's going to take a ton of damage. An amazing Leshrac Split Earth, and Anti-Mage has to run away from this. He's taking a lot of damage. But what will happen on the back half of this? They take down the Sven. The Shadow Demon manages to barely escape. Queen of Pain rotating in. Probably going to try to get the Rubik in the back. Will this actually happen, though, is my question. AM doing his best. He's going to pop Mana Void. That'll get the Rubik kill. And Lifestealer are having to run away now as well. Actually, Gyrocopter dying in the top, but I'm too busy paying attention to this bottom fight to see what's actually happening there. Lifestealer taking a bit of damage, but he will escape no problem. Queen of Pain actually looking to oppress him more, and with the Sonic Boom, she manages to pick him off in the back. What an amazing play from Z-Talk there. Completely taking control of this game, frankly.
Absolutely. He is making big plays here. That was
Lifestealer kill.
That was very impressive. I honestly thought the Sonic Wave was going to whiff, and
Same.
to be honest, I think that every time I'm playing against the Queen of Pain, I'm going to barely outrun that Sonic Wave.
That's never gonna hit.
It doesn't happen. Every game.
Yep.
And I'm sure he was thinking the same thing. He's probably yelling at a screen, "That's bullshit! I can't believe that hit me." To be quite honest, that's what it seems like to me.
Now, of course, when I'm playing Queen of Pain, I'm always like, "Oh, the Sonic Wave is gonna hit." Of course.
It
and
does.
Then it's like up 20 units short.
It's how the world works. They're out to get us.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah,
Clearly,
wow, big plays in that fight. Honestly, from both teams, they had good disables on the anti-mage, and it was only the intervention of the Shadow Demon with just a perfectly timed disruption that actually saved the anti-mage from that Leshrac split earth killing him.
absolutely. The big problem with using stuns against a Shadow Demon is that if Shadow Demon isn't the one stunned, your stuns aren't going to do anything because he's just going to disrupt that person. That's especially important.
Heroes in the bottom, they really want this anti-mage. Rubik with his stolen Quap Blink, really good timing. And actually, the Puck Dream Coil misses. And so Anti-Mage walks away from this no problem. They rotate 5 heroes, and they still haven't managed to pick him off. Beastmaster is even coming in here. Will he get the Primal Roar off? That's really the question at this point. Anti-Mage walks away.
That's a all 5 rotation down to the bot lane.
Yep.
And that's a big problem because they're going to be... both sides are going to be trading towers here. That's happening right
Definitely going to... Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 tower trade. Shadow Demon... gonna try to knock him away his position because he has a pretty slay saucy build. 3 branches and that's it.
He's actually having boots buried to him
good.
while he's hiding.
That'll help. He does pop the disruption, so cheeky. Now they know. Oh my god. Oh, Shadow Demon. Oh no. Yeah, that's a kill.
Oh, that steal. Rubik got the best steal. He got Anti-Mage's Blink.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's actually had it, I think. Because he used it to disable the anti-mage for their attempted 5 game. So they don't come away empty-handed. They get the tower, and actually they managed to defend their top tower as well. So a tower and a kill for nothing. So even though it was a 5 rotation, they did get something out of it. So good on Isurus there.
Yeah, that was fantastic coming out of Isurus. I'm actually surprised they were able to defend this tower up here.
Yeah,
I didn't know what's going to happen.
I definitely thought that it would just be a straight-up tower trade, but there's not quite enough pushing power actually coming out from Slayers to pick up that tower.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's kind of hard to outpush a Leshrac.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, Leshrac doesn't have a single point edict.
Oh yeah,
so...
no edict, so not that great of a pusher when he doesn't have that. Yeah, that's been more common lately. I feel like Lightning Split Earth has been getting more and more popular.
Yeah, the reason for that is just because with edict you have shit laning presence.
Right.
Like
yeah.
there are no other words I can really put into it. Like terrible doesn't really convey how bad his laning presence is with edict.
Well, I mean he's still got a stun that puts him above.
He's got a stun.
Other supports. But it's definitely vastly worse than when he gets lightning. I mean,
But Lightning Storm has such impressive laning.
Yeah, no, for sure. So this AM, building towards Battle Fury, they definitely want it. For Isurus, this tower pickup is actually... Rubik blinks in, another big... This blink has been so useful. They finally get Z-Talk with the Rubik blink initiation. I mean, if you can steal an anti-mage blink, it's like you got Blink Dagger, which is core on him. I mean, it's just such a fantastic spell for you.
It's better than Blink Dagger.
Right.
Not only does it have a shorter cooldown, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
And you get more blink distance out of it.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's definitely almost the ideal spell at this stage for Rubik to have, and it's led to so many great initiations. That kill on Z-Talk, really critical, frankly. I mean, he's at 4-1. And the tower kill also very consequential, because frankly, this great vision that they have over here and over here, in combination with the fact that they've actually taken down this tower, means that there's a lot of pressure that they can exert on this jungle, up to and including the time that Anti-Mage picks up that Battle Fury.
Incidentally, you try to draw on the map, but the marks don't show up when we're paused.
The mini-map ones do, the ones on the actual
yes.
But yeah, I hate that, actually. They should fix that.
They should fix that. You know what I'm glad they fixed?
What?
You can now see the... Well, not yet. That's coming in tomorrow's patch. But you can now see the net worth of the items included on the curry.
Yes! Oh my god, I saw that patch note. I was so happy. Because that was incredibly irritating as a caster.
Casters making their lives a little bit easier every day.
Yep. Because, I mean, how many times have you been like, oh wow, this guy has surprisingly bad net worth for how well he's been farming. Wait.
And then he has like 3 Battle Furies on the courier.
Exactly. 3 Battle Furies. That's actually always what happens.
That's how you counter Phantom Lancer. You get 3 Battle Furies.
That's true. I mean, to be fair, that's what they ended up saying. Brax said that. Like, we should have gotten Battle Fury on Lone Druid and on, whatever their other carry was, Lifestealer, I think.
Yeah, it's just one. It's a farm and answer, a solid one at that. It gives him a lot of not staying power because you don't have a lot of health.
Missed Waning Rift, but he does pop the Dream Coil. Queen of Pain will immediately walk into it. Call down comes down. This is going to do a lot of damage to Rubik, but wow, massive damage coming out on the flip side. They do get the pick off quickly. Gyrocopter getting a kill on the Rubik. Ifrit has rotated over, but I'm not sure he'll be able to actually get it. Really, really good move by Haley there. Will he make it out? He actually will. What a great juke, frankly. Completely going in an unpredictable direction. Queen of Pain hunting the puck. Shoko, will he survive this? No, the magic wand is enough, and her blink is coming up in 1 second. Smart to max that blink there. She didn't get the Shadow Strike, she did get up to level 4 blink, and with the mobility that she wants, that's the ideal pick here. Good escape from Sven, too. Really good rotations coming out from Slayers here, frankly. And keeping the Beastmaster off of their tails, their entire team will make it out without him having to manage to cast Primal Roar.
Absolutely, fantastic play. In particular, really good juking coming out of the Gyrocopter. He definitely went the right ways. And the best part is, Lifestealer actually has 0 ways of break. Oh, whoa, okay.
Just a quick mana void? Yeah, Leshrac poured it in with not enough mana to actually survive what ensued. But they good rotation, actually. Rubik is going to pick him up. Rubik has Blink once again, so fantastic situation for Rubik to be in. This is actually kind of dangerous for this anti-mage. No, it's not. I shouldn't have said that.
No, telekinesis
still in a little bit of trouble. I mean, Rubik is in Viz, so they don't know about this. But anti-mage just being smart, walking away, not trying to farm the jungle.
This is looking to be a really slow Battle Fury coming out of Professional Theater. Not too surprising. He did die once, and he had a pretty miserable lane. But when you're getting a Battle Fury...
Good kill on Shadow Demon here. Again, this Rubik is just doing things. Queen of Pain doesn't have ultimate, so they won't be able to actually do much to... He's going to get picked off, most likely, by the Puck-Rubik combination. Oh, wow! Puck dies. And on the flip side, Queen of Pain's still alive. Great use of bottle charges, and Sven comes in to assist with the Rubik kill. And how did that turn into 2 more heroes dying? I'm not quite certain.
Well, Rubik was tanking some tower shots, and Queen of Pain popped his... magic wand as well.
Magic wand and bottle timing was critical for Queen of Pain staying alive.
Yeah, honestly, it's an absolute shock that last right click did not kill Z-Talk. Yeah. So it's probably a little bit of that extra armor that he has. 5 armor is pretty substantial. And we're seeing him go... Z-Talk's going for, it looks like either a BKB...
Is it Ags or BKB? What do you think?
I'm feeling BKB.
I'm kind of feeling BKB too. But Ags wouldn't be a horrible choice either. It's definitely the glass cannon approach, but it would blow up these heroes right quick.
Absolutely.
Especially against Rubik still, I mean, he's level 8, but he still doesn't have that null field just yet.
Absolutely. But against Puck, Rubik, Leshrac, and even to a certain extent the Lifestealer, BKB is what you need.
BKB is definitely a compelling purchase in a lot of ways. So yeah, I mean, I think most likely he will go BKB unless he decides to just go super hype. Beastmaster taking quite a bit of damage. He doesn't quite have his Primal Roar. It's up in 1 second, and he has a Blink Dagger, so that actually gives them even more mobile initiation. I do like the amount of Blinks they're packing. Rubik, of course, has lost his Blink from Anti-Mage, but he'll be able to steal it again later. Beastmaster, actually, in a bit of trouble here. He's down to 20 HP. They TP somebody in. Queen of Pain, that was a really bad TP, and they lose 2 immediately. Sven, Queen of Pain actually buys back, so that'll move him farther away from that critical BKB. That might not have been the greatest buyback, actually, because Isurus are just going to pull back after getting those 2 kills.
That was just an awful TP. He TP'd onto the front tower right here, where Leshrac was over here. It's like, hey, here's an easy stun.
Right. Yeah, that was a bit of a feat. No two ways about it, really.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Thought he could get the Beastmaster because he was down to 20 HP, but it was just overly greedy play, frankly. Good, Rubik now with the Queen of Pain Blink actually disjointed the Shadow Strike, so good job there. And a great jump in. The Puck actually continuing to get pretty hype here. Gyrocopter with the call down and a stolen call down coming down. Gyro's down. Shadow Demon's taking a lot of damage. Queen of Pain is having to sort of dance around here. But Primal Roar is going to come out, and that's going to be a ton of damage onto her right there. Will it be enough? It is enough, and they lose Queen of Pain essentially 3 times in short order, and a kill for Prodigious as well. This is all going to shit for Slayers, honestly. Good TPs out from Leshrac and Lifestealer, and they don't lose anybody. They've just gotten 5 kills and a buyback for absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. That was really lucky, actually, that Lifestealer did choose to max out the Rage first. Well, if it was 1 level less, he would have been stunned.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to TP out. But no, lucky again. They intelligently picked that Rage.
Oh yeah, no. It's very intelligent, and it was a very good decision, actually. Right. Very good decision to max out from Ifrit, maxing out the Rage.
I think what you mean is just that it was a game of inches, which definitely,
Yeah, that's... Honestly, I think this is the best build for him. It's so important to max out that Rage if you want to have a strong mid game, and with phase boots, you want a strong mid game.
Right. Definitely true.
You don't build phase boots without saying, I want to win the mid game.
Right.
At least as him. But we do see the Battle Fury finish up an
Yeah,
anti-mage.
I was gonna say, even as disastrous, and it really was kind of a disaster as that last fight was for Slayers. The good news is anti-mage has got the Battle Fury finally. Not the quickest Battle Fury you've ever seen. Maybe not even in the top 100 quickest Battle Furies you've ever seen, but it's there, and so that gives them the first step to the supremacy that they're gonna seek to get later.
Yeah, it's basically. The fact that Anti-Mage now has this Battle Fury basically means they can turn the game around at this point.
Right. I mean, the fact is also, Lifestealer, because he's been participating in all these fights, I mean, it's good for him, but he's already substantially behind the Anti-Mage in net worth, because he didn't go that Midas, and now the Anti-Mage has Battle Fury. What you'd expect is Lifestealer actually in the Beastmaster thing, by the way. It's going to be an Operation Dumbo drop here if they can afford to do it.
There are some really fun drops that I have seen with the Lifestealer. So far, my favorite is from the Dota 2 Shitty Digest. You know, it's you see the
and the Lifestealer pops out, so good dive here, I think. Actually, this is going to be a dead Sven and a dead Shadow Demon and a dead Gyrocopter in short order. Operation Dumbo drop manages to succeed with flying colors, which is a great dive and Primal Roar combo.
Yeah, that was not pleasant for them. It was a Primal Roar, I believe. No stolen cooldown. Well, no, maybe it was used. I'm not sure about the cooldown, but Stormhammer was stolen.
Yeah,
so.
they got Stormhammer. There wasn't a cooldown. It was just the friendly cooldown for Slayers. But they really thought they were a lot safer than they were there. That was great. I mean, the Beastmaster with Blink can just pick you off with that Primal Roar from pretty crazy distances, because Primal Roar has a good cast distance. If he adds an Aghanim Scepter onto this, he's going to have, like, essentially 2,500 units worth of initiation power.
It really reminds me of Blinking Doom,
right.
This kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen that once, you know, I think in the G League where they picked up a Blinking Doom to mess up with the Anti-Mage, right?
Yeah, it was one of God,
G
which
League.
team was it?
It was DK versus Siler's team.
Orlov, maybe? Against LGDCN? I don't think they ran Doom in that. But anyway, we do have another initiation coming out. Shadow Demon will defensively disrupt himself, but it's not going to be nearly enough to survive. Queen of Pain coming in, massive damage, but she gets hit by the Stormhammer that's stolen by Rubik. Anti-Mage is in the building. Gyrocopter and AM actually completely mopping up Isurus here, managing to come away with 4 kills for 3.
For 2.
Didn't Sven die too?
No, Sven was already back at home.
Oh, okay. So 4 for 2, and that's kind of what they needed at this point, because they were facing a ton of pressure, losing their second outer tower in tier in top, and almost losing more and more heroes really with no response. So taking out Lifestealer, taking out Beastmaster for a solid 30 seconds, giving that Anti-Mage even more room to farm, that's kind of exactly what they needed right now.
Interestingly, those 4 kills alone have gotten Slayer even on the XP. But
especially when you could go on like a kill deficit, that's very useful. Rubik takes the blink once again. AM is going to be pretty greedy here. I'm not sure this is a good idea. He will get the tower. He will make it out, but that was close. Good. Oh, actually, Rubik blinking over. They're going to have another lift and a great split earth, and they will kill the Anti-Mage. He did overextend.
So greedy. So greedy. He really wanted the towers.
That was incredibly greedy.
Interestingly, someone did the math. You actually get more team gold letting neutrals kill the towers.
Right. Not letting neutrals kill the towers, letting your friendly creeps kill the towers.
Oh yeah, because technically neutrals can't kill towers, right. But yeah, letting friendlies kill the towers, because the gold that would normally be split, given to the person who got the last hit, gets split evenly.
Right. Right.
And that's a fixed amount.
Now, I still think if you're talking about an Anti-Mage, it's still better for the Anti-Mage to get lost. But if you're, I was just discussing this with friends today. If, say, Shadow Demon and Sven in this game were pushing down a tower, they might well peel off if there's no chance of the enemy team denying it, to let the Anti-Mage get a little bit more gold.
We're seeing another Nyx bomb coming out of this
another Dumbo drop coming out, and the Beastmaster Blink is just so amazing with this strategy. You blink over the Beastmaster, you Primal Roar, and then you drop the Lifestealer in. I mean, it's working great. They get another kill on Gyro, but on the other side, almost a pick off. Actually, the Shadow Demon is just enough to get the Rubik. Queen of Pain, meanwhile, walking away with only 30 HP. Puck is on the chase. He has a Blink Dagger. He blinks. Queen of Pain blinks. He doesn't quite manage to blink right on top of Queen of Pain. And meanwhile, Anti-Mage mopping up the remains of Leshrac.
What we're seeing is that we're getting to this point in the game where really Slayers has to 5-man, because this blinking Beastmaster is ruining them.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work.
It's gotten to that point. It's the Blink Dagger and probably the soon-to-be Ags, honestly. Oh no, it's a mech.
Huh. Well, I mean, honestly, they need mech, so
they're
not
need
getting
a
out of their
mech
supports anytime soon. But I think he might go Ags next after this. And actually, Isurus decided to rotate into Roshan. This is a smart move, I think. This is exactly what they want to sort of give themselves more of that mid-game advantage that they're really seeking to put over this anti-mage. Because he doesn't... He actually did deliver the Asha to himself because he's got a magic wand, Iron Branch in the way. But this is going to be an unanswered Roshan, so good choice by Isurus. I think this game is going to become more and more annoying to cast, though, because the Lifesteal is going to be inside a bird, the Beastmaster has a Blink Dagger, the Puck has a Blink Dagger, the Rubik steals Blink, and Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage Blink. So I'm just going to have no idea where to point my camera at any point.
You know what? It's just going to come down to this. Someone's going to die, then we're going to see what happens, and we're going to try to see if we can figure out what happened.
Yes, it's going to be CSI Dota Edition on this stream.
And it looks like
actually full smoke coming out from Slayers, and I wonder what the intention of this is, considering there's just a brand new Aegis on the side of Isurus.
It's actually a really awful smoke because they fallen.
It'll land, but Beastmaster's way too far away. Good blink from him there. And Rubik picking up a Stormhammer as well. Rubik actually has his Blink Dagger as well. Queen of Pain with the BKB charges him, but an amazing Primal Roar in immediate response to that. She does land the ultimate. Gyrocopter Call Down will only hit one hit on Puck. They will probably pick up the Leshrac on the back half of this, but Sven taking a ton of damage. Lifestealer just going to town on that Sven. And Anti-Mage still not quite engaged yet, so it's just Leshrac and Sven so far. Anti-Mage jumps in and then jumps right back out. Gyrocopter and Shadow Demon both on pretty low health. Rubik and Lifestealer on the chase. A good disruption on the Rubik, but a lift on the Shadow Demon might be the end of him. Rubik gets picked off by the Mana Void, and now it's Anti-Mage versus Lifestealer, but Anti-Mage not quite equipped to take this fight just yet. And Beastmaster sort of chasing the rest of them off. And so, bent but not broken, Slayers walk away from this fight with only a trade of 2-1 in the end. So, could be far worse than it ended up being. But they do, the Queen of Pain not able to make it work that much. She really does need a little bit more damage, like something like the Ags. But the BKB obviously very critical to making sure that she didn't die there.
Yeah, honestly, if she didn't have a BKB, she would have melted before she got that ulti off there.
And they do have BKB on Gyro, too. Let's note that he did manage to finish that.
Absolutely critical pickup for Gyrocopter as well. It's going to make it really hard for Isurus to really do anything because there are so many BKBs, and they only have one stun that goes through BKB.
Right.
So it's going to be very tough.
Does manage to get his he has his Manta style, so this is an anti-mage that's starting to grow into his own in some respect. What do you think he's going to go for next? Could we see our third BKB, or will he go something a little more aggressive? Heart, yeah.
For an anti-mage, stuns aren't the end of the world, especially against Isurus' lineup, which is so magic heavy.
Yeah.
He needs tank.
Yeah, I think I agree. Of course, the downside of taking a heart against Lifestealer is there's this little bit of anti-synergy that you get from it. But I still think that it's probably the best choice against a team that's going to be trying to blow you out with puck damage. Ooh, Leshrac in a lot of trouble, actually. God, this anti-mage is not quite big enough to take him down, but it'll just blink over and get the last hit. And Beastmaster will respond by throwing out the Roar just to steal the rune, which is pretty cheeky, if you ask me.
This is
getting turned right around on this Beastmaster. I'm not sure there was any point to that Roar.
That was a waste of a cooldown.
Well, I mean, it's a short cooldown ability. The more I think about it, the more I like it, just because the nice thing about it is AM doesn't have DD. Because an AM with DD is kind of scary, honestly.
I'm honestly not, like, when I see an AM with DD, like, I'm not afraid of him any more than I'm afraid of any other hero with DD. Mostly because AM actually doesn't have that great of an agility growth. 2.8's good, but not good by agility hero standards, you know?
Well, it's good. I mean, it's...
yeah, but it's like...
You do have a hero in the game who has 4.2 agility growth.
4.2. That's actually the highest single stat growth in the game.
Yeah, a little bit more than Pugna's growth.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised I'm still not seeing any... Oh, never mind. Just as I was saying that. I'm surprised I wasn't seeing any Orchids. Puck has an Oblivion Staff.
Ooh, that's a very, very good item, I think. It's smart for Puck to build towards the Orchid in this situation. I think we'll see more Orchids, honestly, as the game goes by.
Yeah, there's the Orchid being finished up. And the Orchid is mandatory. Actually, it's going to be useless at this point, though, because he already has the Manta style.
It definitely not against the AM, but it'll do some work against, for instance, if you can get the initiation on the Queen of Pain and Orchid her before she BKBs, that's a substantial advantage even if you don't use it on the anti-mage.
Well, absolutely, but if you get her in a fight and you Orchid her, then she BKBs, you've wasted the Orchid.
Yes, of course. That's yeah.
So the problem is, I think this item came in too late.
I mean, he couldn't have not gone for Blink, honestly, especially with the strategy that they're trying to play.
Couldn't afford not to get the Blink earlier.
Yeah.
The problem was, if they wanted to get an Orchid, they needed it 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I still think it'll do work, but it's definitely not going to be backbreaking for them.
They'll
Still
be able
trying
to
to do
keep...
Operation Dumbo Drop here, by the way, but unfortunately, all of Slayers are on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, Slayers have learned their lesson.
Yeah.
They are grouping up a lot
If
more.
you see a bird, run the hell. Just be somewhere else. Be anywhere else. Oh, wasted Primal Roar on an illusion there.
Dire's top
Fantastic scouting. Honestly, I love that.
Yeah, great scouting, frankly.
Oh,
And
smoked
Isurus
up.
are doing the correct thing of rotating in to try to pick up this tower. But that's the end of Lifestealer's Infest. He does only have a 30-second cooldown, but Slayers might just jump right onto this. And the Queen of Pain coming in, the rest of them coming in. The tower will go down, but this could develop into an enormous fight. Gyrocopter walks in, he pops BKB, a lot of damage getting thrown out already, enough to kill the Rubik. And actually, Beastmaster is going to get picked off as well. Gyrocopter is still alive somehow. Lifestealer finally taking out a big Queen of Pain, was enough to take down Leshrac. And there goes the Lifestealer Aegis, and Puck in a bit of trouble as well. Puck will probably get away from this, but I'm not sure Lifestealer will. Taking a bit of damage, actually fighting the Anti-Mage. The Anti-Mage taking a ton of damage immediately, so scratch that. Lifestealer actually on a rampage here. He's killed off Sven. He might kill off the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon, good defensive disruption, but Lifestealer will be right on top of him as soon as he comes out. And this fight has gone two ways, and it's going to go more. The Orchid manages to get the Queen of Pain killed by Lifestealer, and an Ultra kill, and there's not going to be a rampage just because the Anti-Mage knows what's good for him and isn't going to continue this fight. But wow, what a fight, and what a sort of turnaround and double turnaround.
He should have turned around. He should have turned around.
The Anti-Mage should have?
Yeah, he had a man to sell. Should have turned around.
Maybe.
He should. He goes for a Skull Basher, and I think that's actually his second best option to a heart.
I like
gonna let him-
Basher.
It's gonna let him brawl.
Yeah,
the next
he-
option, honestly, and he, you might think he should just go for something like a butterfly instead. Heaven's
No,
Helper.
I like Basher, I think.
Heaven's Helper.
Halbert's not a bad idea either, although...
It's not the most slot effective item, which is my problem with it
Yeah.
for an anti-mage.
Yeah.
But if you need something quick and you need something cheap, Halberd. It's gonna
I
give.
don't know, I still feel like he's probably... I mean, honestly, Abyssal wouldn't be the end of the world.
I don't think he's gonna get the gold fast enough for the Abyssal though.
He might not.
But
I mean, the thing is, this Lifestealer is going balls to the wall. He's got Drums, Armlet, Desolator, and this is like, I want to kill you now, times a million.
yeah, he's picking up very cost-effective items, and these are very cost-effective items. Some of the most cost-effective items. The problem is Lifestealer has very little durability outside the armlet, and the only reason why he was able to stay alive is, again, he has Rage.
Right.
Magic Immunity is stupid.
But that's why I think maybe the Abyssal isn't such a bad choice, because, I mean, I think you identified correctly that this Anti-Mage wants to get to a position where he can brawl Lifestealer. Because right now, he's not even close. Lifestealer just swatted him down like a bug in that last game, and he sort of was, in that last fight, and he was just sort of too scared to pursue it. It ended up being a 4-for-4 trade, and all 4 of the kills went to Lifestealer on his side.
Not only did all 4 of them go to Lifestealer, all 4 of them went to Lifestealer when Lifestealer was like the only one alive.
It was like
other
the
than...
only person up. Yeah. Absolutely. Like he didn't just take the kills. He was the only person getting the kills.
Oh, this is bad for
Oh,
Peter.
Beastmaster has a Lifestealer inside of him, and I'm not sure Anti-Mage knows
Wait,
about this. They
wait.
could turn this right around. Good Manta style, and they actually lift up the wrong Anti-Mage, but he's going to get taken down extremely quickly. Beastmaster probably going to get picked up, but they have no answer to the Lifestealer if the Anti-Mage is dead, and the Sven gone as well. AM walking into a total trap there.
He got baited hardcore. That's all.
Baited hardcore. Big blinks, and Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble now as well. Good attempts to TP, but not quite enough, and tough situation for Slayers there, losing 3 heroes just like that, including the absolutely critical Anti-Mage.
Yeah, honestly, he should upgrade the boots to power treads.
Is he still on
Like,
tier 1s?
Yeah,
He might want to do that, yeah.
it's a critically underappreciated item. It gives attack speed.
Yep.
And it gives him a little 8 more strength is like 170 more health,
Yeah.
and that helps always.
No, for sure. And another tower for Isurus, actually getting it on Lifestealer as well. And this Lifestealer, they just don't seem to have that many great ways of dealing with him yet. They really need to make sure that the Anti-Mage gets more development. But now they're down to 0 outer towers. So for a while in this game, I would have tilted it a little bit in Slayers' favor, just because they had this Anti-Mage that was sort of, that ticking time bomb effect, whatever you're facing an Anti-Mage is farming well. But now I'm not so sure, because Isurus have managed to sort of not lose every fight, and just managing to kill off that anti-mage in particular is very, very effective for them.
The game is dragging on though, but the big thing about it is Lifestealer. He's a mid-game hero. He is in every sense of the word a mid-game hero. He doesn't work very well once you get to the 40-50 minute mark, which is looking like what the game is going to be going towards.
It could
honestly.
very well, but honestly, he is dominant on the map at this point. But I think you're right. I mean, how long is that going to last? Will they be able to rax? Because if they don't start raxing in the next 7-ish minutes, I mean, it's not just the anti-mage they have to worry about. This Gyro he does have his Yasha. He is building towards probably a Manta as well, and then more damage items. And once the anti-mage and the Gyro are farmed, Isurus are going to find themselves in pretty deep shit.
Every time they smoke, they walk over sentries.
Yep. Completely spotted out that time. And actually, Isurus actually almost done with the rush already, so they're going to have to jump on them very quickly if they actually want to intercept this rush kill, but it looks like it's just going to be a Roche. Lifestealer getting an Aegis, and this fight has begun in earnest. Gyrocopter picked up, he is Orchided cooldowns coming down, Rubik cooldown coming down, and Lifestealer already destroying people. He does a lot of damage. The Gyrocopter is still barely alive. Dreamcoil does not pop. They have taken down the Aegis, and Puck's taking a lot of damage. They lost the Quap as well. Beastmaster does a buyback, and they're just going to try to get out of here. Anti-Mage does pick off the Puck with a very clever Mana Void. This Shadow Demon is dead, though. Dead. 3 Bracers is almost... 3 Bracers is like paper against a Lifestealer that's this big.
Yeah, it's a serious problem. When you're playing against a Lifestealer,
It's a what problem?
the answer isn't health. The answer is buying a plate mail or 5.
Yeah. And even then, Blade Mail, if he's raging while beating on you, I mean...
Not even plate mail, just the plate
Oh,
mails.
plate, yes. Armor, good. Bracer, not great. And even though I said Anti-Mage would go for the Abyssal Blade, it's actually Lifestealer that hits it first because of just the sheer amount of kills he's racking up in every single one of these fights. So a complete Abyssal Blade on him, and frankly, that'll be quite consequential, especially against the amount of BKBs. Like, Gyro kited him around a lot in that last fight, which he would not have been able to do if he was Abyssal down.
Yeah, the big thing about it is Gyrocopter's slows through his cooldown do pierce BKBs.
Right.
And slows are like the thing that makes Lifestealer want to just shoot himself.
Right.
Because he can avoid most stuns. And honestly, I am terrified to see how much fatter this Lifestealer can get. He's almost maxed on items. The only thing he could do is he could sell his drums.
He'll eventually sell the drums, I think.
And like pick up 3 hearts.
I mean, honestly, that's not a bad idea, Heart, on this Lifestealer, because as Anti-Mage and Gyro get bigger, their damage will lag behind at the current rate, the rate at which this Lifestealer can pick up survivability. I think Cuirass also not a bad idea necessarily.
Yeah, Kuros definitely probably on the top of the list. The big thing is Desolator is fantastic on Lifestealer because it does reduce the armor, which means the feast damage is improved as well as his right-click damage.
I think
It's
this
actually
will be
his right-click
Abyssal,
damage.
by the way, for Anti-Mage. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, his right-click damage is really substantial at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 400
substantial.
damage.
400, yeah. Pre-feast.
Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is only floating around 256.
Yeah.
And he's the same level.
Plus the feedback burn, but still. Far less than the Lifestealers.
Feedback is only 64 damage, and not even that much is damage.
Right.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It actually does less than a Diffusal Blade in terms of damage, which is interesting.
No, that's... Oh, because Diffusal deals the same amount of burn as damage, and... So a little bit of pressure going out finally onto the Raxes for Isurus. They're starting to feel like this Lifestealer might actually be big enough to get some work done. So all of them clumped up right here. Lifestealer is inside Beastmaster rather than inside the bird, so it's going to have to be Beastmaster jumping in. But Beastmaster is starting to build towards that Aghanims as well, so he's got this point booster, and I think that'll probably be made to an Aghanim sooner or later, which will give them such great initiation range. I mean, just think of Beastmaster jumping in, hitting that, what's it called? Primal Roar. And then Lifestealer jumping out and abyssaling the target of the Primal Roar when the Primal Roar expires.
Yeah, it's going to be dangerous up against the Beastmaster and the Lifestealer. One thing I'd like to note, Haley is annoying me because he picked up the Eagle Song first. Yeah, this
Rather
game
than Medallion,
you wanted the Talisman Invasion.
Talisman, that's what I meant. Yeah, I think Talisman definitely substantially better against Lifestealer, especially after he's done with his Basher and Abyssal. Like, you want to be able to dodge.
Yeah, the big thing about the Lifestealer is that he has no way of avoiding that, because he's not going to build an MKB, probably, until he sees that, really.
Right. Well, once he sees the Eagle song, he can start thinking about the MKB as his next item. He does have...
Yeah, I don't think he's even that concerned.
Sure.
Honestly, you know what I'd love to see on this hero, on this Lifestealer Ifrit? I would love to see Ifrit pick up a Heaven's Helper. I brought this up for Anti-Mage. It's even better, much better on the
Outlet
Lifestealer.
would be good, definitely. And there goes the tower. I mean, a good, very patient, slow siege from Isurus out there. So just showing how disciplined they are. I mean, you don't win 2 in a row of these tournaments by being an undisciplined team. And Isurus just really playing smart and pressing their advantage while they have it. Because they know it's not forever. But while they have it, they might as well do their best. Lifestealer also, just such patience. He's been sitting inside this Beastmaster. His cooldown would probably be up if he came out.
Yeah, but honestly, I think one of the big things is they're trying to make sure that...
and this Sage as well, this Rax is already halfway down, and there's not a lot that Slayers feel comfortable about doing about this.
There's not really much they can do about it. The problem is they don't want to take the team fight out to them because they have so much. They have so much available.
Still,
they don't have a...
They certainly can't afford to just take half the Rax's life and damage every time that Isurus push in.
Yeah, the problem is once Isurus knows that they can do it just for this lane, they can proceed to do the siege in every lane.
Rax. Yeah, I mean, Isurus, there's no reason for them not to just back out at this point. They can call it the siege only to resume it in another lane immediately. And so a Rax lost with really no recourse at all for Slayers. They've got to be a little hot under the collar about it at this point.
Yeah, I was not expecting the Lifestealer to get this fat this quickly.
Right.
The problem is for Anti-Mage is that Lifestealer will beat Anti-Mages in most situations with equal farm just because of how strong Lifestealer's staying power is because Feast.
Right.
And
it's a big... has to be ahead. And we thought he would be ahead because he did. I mean, even though he got a Battle Fury fairly late, I mean, it was when he got that Battle Fury, he was ahead of Lifestealer. And it's just been the fact that, oh no, Anti-Mage in so much trouble right now. He's got to do better than that. He blinks once, but he doesn't avoid the stuns or the roar or the damage from Lifestealer. And he doesn't have buyback. He just bought the Abyssal Blade.
That is bad.
That is bad.
The problem is with Anti-Mage down with no buyback. And generally speaking, when this is your situation, you buy back immediately.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're going to actually be able to take.
They know he doesn't have buyback. They're fairly confident with it, and so now there's definitely nothing that I think Slayers can do. And losing a second set of racks, that's killer. I mean, they haven't. I wouldn't say it's over, but they're very, 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 very behind in that position.
The advantage is they do have an Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is fantastic at pushing back lanes.
That's true. A good blink in onto this Sven. He's already taken a lot of damage. He's not going to go down, but this Shadow Demon is just going to fall apart. Queen of Pain jumping in, doing what she can. Puck down. Rubik down, but the trade-off is that they lose this Sven. They're going to lose this Gyro. He's Abyssal down. He is alive, but not for long. He gets taken down. Bet he wishes he had that dodge now. And Queen of Pain forced to sort of back off of this fight as Lifestealer, Leshrac, and Beastmaster take down the second set of Raxes for Isurus.
Honestly, I won't be surprised if this is going to be a third set either. They have backdoor protections off at this moment, so...
I mean, no buyback on Gyro? Oh, he's 30 gold away. If they had buyback on Gyro, I'd consider it. But as a result, no, definitely at least the tower here is going to go. And a jump onto Queen of Pain, a huge primal roar, Lifestealer following up. Queen of Pain lives somehow. Anti-Mage is in the fray, so he does manage to deflect them from that third set of Raxes, which they absolutely needed. I mean, goodness gracious. Anti-Mage misses his Mana Void, but they do pick off Leshrac in short order. They're going to keep... Oh my god!
Oh my god! What?
How is Mana Void's radius that big?
It's 300 radius, so it's actually about as big as Magnus's reverse polarity.
No,
but
reverse polarity is like 450.
I thought it was 350. You know what? I'm looking this up right now.
You're probably right, but oh my god, what a critical / lucky Mana Void that was.
Yeah, I think he saw the mana pool on you know what? I will look this up later.
All right, look it up later. Because we could have more happening here in just a second. We do have mass buybacks from Isurus, and that makes sense, honestly. Rubik linking in. They're going to get this Shadow Demon kill, and Shadow Demon, honestly, I don't know why he came out here so far. That was a really bad idea. He's just going to get completely swatted down.
Yeah, Palon... that wasn't even a bit out of position.
That was
It looks like he was feeding himself to the enemy.
Yeah. Anti-Mage, now he will have buyback, and he's going to go back to base, still sitting on those tier 1 boots, and now he can't replace them, because, I mean, he needs to hold buyback gold, or they will lose right now, right here. These are naked Raxes. They do have Fortify, which thank goodness for that, because they're going to need to use that post-haste. They do have backdoor protection, but it hardly matters. They need to fortify, goodness gracious. They still haven't fortified. Lifestealer is forced to fight this out now. Anti-Mage is in the air. He is roared, and he's going to get Abyssal. He's going to have to buy back this Queen of Pain proc from Basher. What a critical proc for them that was. And Lifestealer, 1 Rax remaining. Actually, 2 Raxes remaining, because they still have the ranged Rax bottom. A great, why is this Anti-Mage so slow? Oh, it's open wounds. Leshrac taking a bit of damage, Anti-Mage still trying to jump in, still trying to chase down the remainder of Isurus. And this Leshrac may die, but this Gyrocopter taking a lot of damage under Orchid as well. Sven's still not with very good damage. Anti-Mage versus Lifestealer. This is the fight going on top. Lifestealer goes down, he doesn't have buyback, and Rubik is actually still alive. Anti-Mage getting another kill. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon manages to come in to finally get the pick off on Leshrac. And Beastmaster and Puck probably can't afford to keep prosecuting this. Both of them do have more or less full mana, so this Anti-Mage won't be able to chase them down. They do both have Blink Daggers, so they can get away from the Anti-Mage. And we get a buyback from Sven. I mean, Slayer's on the ropes here completely. They're down to 2 ranged Raxes. They need to make something happen before this Lifestealer comes back.
The answer is Rapiers.
That...
Not 1, not 2, but at least 3. I'm going to say 3. 1 for the
Rapiers. The Gyro needs a Rapier, but he's nowhere near one.
The Anti-Mage needs a Rapier, and the Queen of Pain needs a Rapier.
Probably needs a Rapier. And I mean, they don't have buyback anymore. I mean, the Anti-Mage doesn't have buyback anymore. The Gyrocopter still... It keeps being slightly short of his buyback. I almost feel bad, honestly, because he comes so close.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. The only way they're going to win this at this point is Rapiers, and they have the heroes to make it work.
Sure, I mean, Anti-Mage, Gyro, these are great heroes to put your Rapiers on if you're going to have Rapiers. A great Orchid on Sven there before he manages to do anything like a stun. But Puck actually lives. Anti-Mage, does Manfoot do anything there? And this Shadow Demon might get picked off yet again, and they've got to get the heck out of here, actually. Sven probably going to go down as well just after he bought back, so that wasn't a very effective buyback for him. Rubik actually has Mana Void, by the way, which could come into play a little bit later, especially on this Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Mana Void is dangerous. Queen of Pain, if he's all out of mana, will actually get completely blown up by it. Straight out.
Yeah, I mean, great steal, great presence of mind by the Rubik to actually steal that. And that's the Sven and the Shadow Demon on the sidelines once again. And will they actually go for another Roche with this Lifestealer up again? Is the Roche
Probably. Roche is up, and they can solo this very easily. They can have... It'll take Lifestealer...
I like the Leshrac double point booster, by the way, just for that maximized health pool.
Yeah, I think he was planning on turning one into a Bloodstone, the other one into an Ags.
Oh, he's still gonna do that. It was just funny.
Well, I don't know. It's feeling like the game is gonna end before that happened.
That's true. That's true.
For Slayers, really, if they got to this point and they didn't lose any Raxes, they would still be in
amazing shape if they hadn't lost any Raxes. But unfortunately,
they're all out of Raxes.
Yeah. Lifestealer actually gets rid of the plate mail, not the drums. So he really likes that drums. They do still have a charge on it, and it is an AoE buff, so it's a good spell, definitely. And they just immediately smoke. Again, Isurus, great presence of mind, great poise. Like, they've just made so many good decisions in this game.
I wouldn't even say... It's not that Slayers even performed badly. They performed really well. It's just Isurus played better. It's not even like that much better. They managed to edge out small leads.
Exactly, especially in these big teamfight engagements. They've just done really, really well. Managed to even cut around the Anti-Mage, even though he has a short blink. They waste a lot of his time, and as a consequence, rather than losing by a lot, they lose by a little, or they draw, or they keep the Lifestealer alive and get him a Rampage. So
one of the big things is...
That was a complete waste of a BKB, actually. Just going to have to wait 50 seconds to reuse that one.
One of the big things about this whole thing is it's feeling a lot like a Chinese game. That's what it feels like. In a Chinese game, the game is not about making big wins. It's about edging out small victories, and that's exactly what they've been doing this entire game, Isurus.
Yep, great insight, definitely. I mean, Isurus, honestly, each week they just come back and they play, like, honestly, I feel like they're getting better each week that we see them. Like, even their first championship, they weren't playing as well as they did today.
This is just phenomenal play, but...
Good Orchid. I mean, again, the Orchid, they're just using it on Sven every time because Sven is the initiator. Anti-Mage, they do get a pick off on Rubik. Rubik a little bit out of position there, frankly, not with his team, which is not great. And they're actually forced to peel back. I think without the Rubik, they don't feel quite as confident about this. So, Slayer's good job of picking off the Rubik, forestalling the what we could call the inevitable. And Anti-Mage ends up going for Vlad's, by the way. So that item that you said they have to have.
It's an item they have to have, but it's not an item anti-mage should buy.
Yep, and here goes another Rax. They do have Fortify, and they're going to use it, so Isurus immediately peels back. So again, like you said, that patient play. We don't need the Rax right now. We don't need to get greedy with this. We can just wait 10 seconds for our next creep wave, and then go in and try to seize it. Beastmaster jumps in. They do have the immediate disables on Queen of Pain, and that's huge. No BKB, no Sheepstick, no Queen of Pain damage. But Ifrit taking a lot of damage here. They're going to get the Aegis down, and they might actually pick up Leshrac as well. If they can clear out the rest of the team before Ifrit comes back, that might be useful for them. But a huge open wounds. This Gyro is in a lot of trouble. Butterfly keeps him alive for a surprisingly long length of time, but unfortunately Ifrit's still up. Anti-Mage versus Lifestealer. That's what's happening here. Lifestealer, big stun from the Sven. They will get Ifrit. So they lose a Rax. Actually, that was Megas. They lost the Rax in the top as well, just to creeps. So they need to do something absolutely right now, no question. And Lifestealer still has the buyback. So that's rough.
Here's the reason why I'm going to say no to Vlads, because if he didn't buy the Vlads, he could have split up his Skull Bastion and he could have bought a Rapier.
That's true. Can you disassemble an Abyssal Blade?
Yes, you can.
Huh. Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh wow, then that would definitely be the right call here. He would need that Rapier. So yeah,
I'm not even joking. This is like you're losing. The item made to make sure you can win a losing game is the Rapier.
Right.
If you lose it, well, you were going to lose anyways if you didn't do anything.
Right.
And with it, you have a chance of winning.
Huh, I actually did not know, and that's good information that you can disassemble an Abyssal Blade, but I think you're right, the Rapier would have been the best option there. You need the counter push at this point, because Megas are almost impossible to counter push.
Oh, please tell me you're buying that. No.
He is still not buying it. Maybe he doesn't know that you can disassemble an Abyssal Blade. Because that's what he has to do. I agree 100%.
Honestly, one of the things you could do, and this is just like silly as shit, but kill yourself on neutrals, give the Rapier to Gyrocopter.
I don't think that would do. They actually decided to prosecute this, so Beastmaster, good roar. Shadow Demon, once again, he's so squishy at this point. He just dies so easily. Anti-Mage doing his best to go hype on these guys, but Shadow Demon already down, and Anti-Mage actually stunned down. He's taking a lot of damage. He has to blink the heck out of there. And they just need something else. This isn't enough. Dream Coil going out. Sheepstick, and this might be the end of this Anti-Mage. It is. And I think that might be all she wrote for Slayers. I mean, they can try, and they do have buyback on the Anti-Mage, but they're definitely not going to want to use it. I mean, how's he going to get his Rapier then?
Honestly, I don't think Rapier's crossed his mind this game, so it's sad to say, but that's probably the game. Honestly, like, this has been a really close game.
Yeah, great game, honestly.
Like,
really
even with just the upgraded Mega Creeps, they were doing phenomenally that they were dealing with them. Sadly, the upgraded Mega Creeps hurt more than Shadow Demon does.
Anti-Mage does buy back. They're going to make their last stand here. Queen of Pain jumping in, immediately copping the Beastmaster Roar. Rubik up in the air from a Puck Yules, and he's going to die, but that's still only one pick-off, and Ifrit is lurking in the wings. He's going to try to get in here. Sven is going to... Good defensive disruption, actually. Keeps the Sven alive for just one more second, but Anti-Mage taking an enormous amount of damage. They do get Ifrit again, actually, but I think he still has buyback if he needs it. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He bought Hyperstone. So, actually, I don't know. They might get this Beastmaster here. Anti-Mage doing his best. Sven and Queen of Pain clearing out some creeps. Anti-Mage continuing to try his best, but he's getting a little low. He does pick off the Mana Void onto the Beastmaster. They good disruption onto the Puck, otherwise the Anti-Mage would have been in a bit of trouble just via the Orchid. And they sheep down the Puck. This will be an all-white for Isurus, and they've got to push mid. They have to push mid right now. That's the only thing they can do. Their absolutely only choice. Either it will work or it won't. The Gyrocopter is going to try to keep the home fires burning. They still have both their tier 4 towers, and Lifestealer doesn't have buyback for 60 seconds. So there is a glimmer. It's only a very faint glimmer like you might see in a very, very dark swamp, but there is a glimmer of hope.
This is when you should take that small detour and pick up the Rapier just to break down the rest of the rack so quickly. I'm not even joking.
This is Rapier TV.
At this point, I'm not even joking. I'm gonna bring up Rapiers until someone does something about it. Like, that's really...
Sure, I get it. They are smart disruption on the Anti-Mage. They're gonna get those double illusions, but they still have a Fortify. 30 seconds until Lifestealer. We're just gonna be looking at that timer, because once Lifestealer comes up, this half-alive team isn't gonna be able to do much more. The TP in, the gyrocopter has bought Boots of Travel, so they're completely abandoning their home base. They're going to just try to push down. Why are they going for the Raxes? Come on, guys. I don't know about those Raxes. I think they need to go for Throne. I really don't know about the choice to go for those Raxes. They're going to do their best. They're doing damage. The Anti-Mage has a lot of illusions up. They are going to try to kill off the Rubik. Leshrac with good damage already. They do take down one tier 4 tower. So one tier 4 tower down. The Anti-Mage is once again generating illusions. Actually, these are foreign illusions. These are illusions from the Rubik. These are going to be powerful AM illusions. And actually, the AM taking a lot of damage. Will he make it out of this? Amazing roar, and the Anti-Mage goes down. No buyback. 3 players dead. Gyrocopter down. Does he have buyback? No, he's yet again short. Queen of Pain buys back, but that might have been it. I think that was it. No buyback on the Anti-Mage.
I like to say if they ignored the Rax and they bought the Rapier, they actually probably would have won.
I think so, because getting those racks was such a waste of time. They really needed to go for tier 4s immediately. And honestly, yeah, I mean, even though this is Rapier TV with El Presidente and Vigormon, I think it's a great point. I mean, having a Rapier on Anti-Mage would have gotten that Ancient down so much quicker.
Between the 2 Raxes, that's an additional 3,000 health. Right? Assuming that they didn't go for it and they had the Rapier, and Anti-Mage attacked a lot. He attacked a lot.
For sure. And I mean, his
right?
illusions attacked a lot.
That would have been like 4,000 more damage onto the buildings by the main Anti-Mage.
And Queen of Pain getting taken down after her buyback. Sven, the last person alive, and he dies. And that is the Ancient down. So, frankly, one of the best stands we've seen taken against Isurus. I mean, Slayers Gaming played their heart out. And they played very, very well. And in the end, just a tiny bit short.
Absolutely. I think this game was incredibly close. I'm still going to stand by it. Rapiers would have been the best way to win. But honestly, they did the best with what they had. I think what I love about this game, though, more than the fact that it was this close, was that neither side was willing to quit at any point, and that Slayers were willing to stay through the entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, they stuck it out. They didn't GG out early. I mean, to be fair, the Anti-Mage was always farming well, so I think they always knew that they had that in their pocket. But honestly, just very, very tenacious play, and extremely patient play from Isurus as well. Not overstaying their welcome, not over-pushing when they had an advantage, getting those Aegises on Lifestealer and just really milking everything they had for all it's worth. So even against a team where, if I told you that there was a game between a Gyrocopter Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, and others, against, like, Puck, Lifestealer, Beastmaster, and I was like, it's a 54-minute long game, who do you think won? And you were like, well, of course the Lifestealer team. Like, not a likely response, and yet Isurus managing to make it work.
Absolutely. It's when you have such a phenomenal early game with a Lifestealer like that, it's really hard to lose that advantage just because of how naturally tanky he is against enemy healthfuls. Yeah,
exactly. All right, so I think that's it for tonight. Isurus will move on to the semifinals, which will be played out on Friday. I don't know if either of us will actually be there to cast that, but those should be interesting games as well. And then, of course, the grand finals of this tournament will be held on Sunday. So, you want to give yourself some props, El Presidente?
I don't have any props to give. Oh, if only.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you for casting with me today. It was really fun, honestly. It's a really, really good game, the second game, definitely.
Absolutely. That was probably one of my favorite games I've casted so far. Only beaten by the 2 games I got a cast that had Meepo in it.
Meepo is definitely generates some good casting times.
Yeah, it's not even that he's a bad hero. It's just that he's so impressive to watch. If I could, I would play with perspective any game with Meepo in it. If that was an option.
just follow the Meepos around.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, anyways, thanks for having me. I guess until we cast again.
Definitely. Thanks, dude. Alright, folks, and pretty exciting game there. Like I said, we may or may not be back for Friday. Definitely probably going to do the grand finals on Sunday. We'll see if Isurus manages to make it through the semifinals. And honestly, I think Slayers Gamers can walk away with their head held high from this game. They played great. They played their hearts out. It didn't quite get there in the end, but honestly, the closest I've seen a team to come to eliminating Isurus, even out of the grand final matches that they've had. So, good game to both teams, and thank you for watching to you guys.